At this hour, the House has just begun work on Speaker Boehner's new plan to deal with the nation's looming debt ceiling catastrophe. It's a plan the Speaker feels will pass both the House and Senate, a plan he appears to be daring the President to veto. But will it even get that far? Already we see cracks in the Speaker's anticipation of success. Congressman Jim Jordan, like the Speaker, a Conservative from Ohio, just threw a monkey wrench into the Speaker's plans. Representative Jordan now says this: "I am confident, as of this morning, that there were not 218 Republicans in support of this plan." Mr. Jordan should know he chairs a Republican committee with 178 members. Great. Today's table, of course, set by a prime-time back and forth between the President and Speaker Boehner. First, the President addressing an increasingly weary, even angry nation, repeating his message of a compromise that both sides must make to right the American economy.
How can we ask a student to pay more for college before we ask hedge fund managers to stop paying taxes at a lower rate than their secretaries? This is no way to run the greatest country on earth. It's a dangerous game that we've never played before, and we can't afford to play it now.
Then it was House Speaker John Boehner's turn, and the distinguished gentleman from Ohio offering a stern rebuke to the President's call, accusing him of simply playing politics.
And the sad truth is that the President wanted a blank check 6 months ago, and he wants a blank check today. Those decisions should be made based on how they're going to affect people who are struggling to get a job, not how they will affect some politicians' chances of getting reelected.
Well, if the rhetoric between the President and the Speaker is charged, it may be nothing compared to the outrage of many Americans who crashed Capitol Hill servers online and at this very moment continue to flood the switchboards. And now the President awaits the work of Congress, with one plan put forward in the Senate by Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid and one in the House by Speaker Boehner. The House plan, which could be voted on tomorrow, might be called the Boehner two-step. Cut spending by about $1.2 trillion over 10 years and extend the debt ceiling for about 6 months before a bipartisan committee hammers out another $1.7 trillion spending cuts. Majority Leader Eric Cantor told Republicans behind closed doors this morning that, quote, "the debt limit vote sucks," but before cameras encouraged Conservatives to rally behind their Speaker. Still, some Republicans, particularly among the 87 so-called Tea Party freshmen, have quickly shown signs of resistance. Republican Congressman Joe Walsh of Illinois is one of those freshmen, and I'm absolutely delighted that he's come on yet again with us this afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
Great to be with you, Martin.
Mr. Walsh, I guess congratulations are due first, because you're one of very few individuals on the planet who said they don't care if these negotiations go beyond the August 2nd deadline. Given the current gridlock, it looks as though that may happen. The country will default. So well done on your achievement. But do you think Speaker Boehner's two-step plan will actually pass the House?
Just a clarification, Martin. I care about default. Everybody up here cares about default. We're not obsessed with August 2nd. And based on what we're hearing this morning, the administration may not be as well. You know, sources say, reports say that they've been contacting privately bankers, letting them know, don't worry about default, you're going to be fine, you're going to be fine. I wish they would have that same message publicly to the American people. It might help us get to a solution a lot faster.
Well, let's focus on politicians, because that's where you are at the moment. Do you think Mr. Boehner's proposed plan will come through the House, will be voted on and be a success through the House?
I don't know. I give the Speaker a lot of credit for continuing to try to craft something, put some solution together. But to me, we can do better. It's just not good enough, and I think we can do better.
Will you vote for it?
No, I can't, Martin. What I voted for was what I voted for last week. The House passed a historic piece of legislation that cut spending and would get us toward a balanced budget amendment with which Republicans and Democrats in some form support.
Okay, Mr. Walsh, we can add your name then to the 5 Republicans who've already said they won't vote. That means we're down to what? Boehner can only afford to lose 22. So that's down to what? How's your math?
I was never a strong math student.
I know.
So I'm not a head counter. All I know is we can do better, and we have to do better. And if it means we go a day or two or three beyond August 2nd to get this right, that's what I think we should do.
You gave an interview recently to Bloomberg News in which you said, and I'm quoting you, "I don't know why we're talking to this president. The bolder Republicans are these 16 months. The bolder Republicans during these 16 months would be better off politically," implying, obviously, that it's the general election, the presidential election, that you're focused on.
No, I think he's focused, actually, Martin, on the election.
No, but you were, because you said it wasn't worth speaking to the president.
Well, the context was, I don't know that it's worth speaking to him because I just don't think he gets it, and I don't think he's serious. And his speech last night was, again, so disappointing. He continues to play this class warfare thing. And Republicans and Democrats, I think both parties up here, we're beyond that. The American people are beyond that. For him to continue to just give speeches. He gives a great speech, Martin, but the American people want a serious solution, and he's proven to be not capable of that.
OK, Mr. Walsh, finally, Harry Reid, speaking earlier today, said that Speaker Boehner's short-term approach is no solution because it will plunge us back into this untenable position in a few short months. It'll give the markets no stability and the American people no certainty, but it will hamper the president during an election year. And that's really what this is about, isn't it?
Well, I think the markets have told us the last day or so. I mean, they're all not worked up. They understand what's going on. I don't think they're getting worked up. Look, we don't trust this president enough to just give him a blank check. And I think he made clear in his news conference last week that that's what he wants. He wants this beyond the next election. I actually think this is a healthy debate for America, and I wouldn't mind having this debate every single month up until the election.
Wow. And never settle the debt ceiling issue. Congressman Joe Walsh, as always, thank you very much for joining us.
Great to be with you, Martin.